Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled, of course, Tarot Reading by Janine. Where I'm missing my slide. There you go. This is our first inaugural Monday night broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. You can find Janine, of course, at Tarot by Janine here on YouTube and also at Sending Ravens. Big welcome back to Janine. Janine, welcome back to the show.
Hi, everybody. They just saw me on the drive-in chat, Jean-Claude. They're sick of me, I'm sure.
Very good. No, I don't think so. Judging by our emails, everybody's absolutely ecstatic that we're moving to 2 nights a week here for these amazing live streams on YouTube. I've been getting those emails all day today saying, thank God, there's so much happening, JC. You and Janine are awesome. You're our sanity here in this storm of craziness. So thank you so much. What are your emails like today regarding this, Janine?
Very same. That's why I was late. It's my fault we're late because I was reading all the emails.
Yeah, I know. Once you get started in that email queue, it's like a never-ending pit. I just want to show you guys something. I don't know if you'll be able to see this in the camera. Let me see here. Do you see at the bottom corner in red? Can you see the number?
I can. Oh,
like 60,000. There's more than one email queue in here, but just to let you know, I've got a lot of emails to go through.
Yikes.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here tonight. Again, Janine and I decided we did this quick update video for you guys yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We explain why we're making these changes to our schedule here to try to accommodate the rapidly increasing news cycle here. And so we want to spend more time with you guys live during the week as opposed to doing just one show. We're now doing 2 shows, and we're now also adding at least 2 other additional pay-per-views monthly also to the queue, and those will be reserved for more special type of deep dives, so to speak. We'll be looking at the economy as we're shifting gears here into this new financial system as well, and we might be doing also special decodes on, let's just say, crazy individuals in our realm. So these are the ideas that we have so far, but stay tuned. Much more content to go. So let's start here tonight. Janine, I was struck by this news article from the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company here, which are huffing and puffing, telling everyone here that, of course, if they don't have their paperwork, it's going to be absolutely impossible for them to participate in society moving forward. They're going to be ostracized, imagine, Janine. So this sounds exactly like what Cliff High was saying the other day. As we get closer to these deadlines, the bug, so to speak, is going to flap its wing and huff and puff and try to scare everybody. So let's take a few cards here and read exactly on these tactics that we're seeing, not just from the CBC, but everywhere else around the world here. Are these just last minute bluffs to the end here to play with this narrative and to try to push as many people to self-volunteer for the death shot? Is that what we're seeing?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Right off the bat, right when you said the death, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be careful with the words.
Yep.
This part came up. So, but it can also talk about the end of something. So they know they're at the very end of all of this is fallen apart on the bug, if you want to call it that, or the deep state, or, you know, the bad guys. It's all, the narrative is completely falling flat. There's so much going on that the mainstream media, of course, is not telling you, okay, which is like literally thousands of lawsuits against their people's governments. People are rising up, nurses stepping out, walking off the job. You're not even hearing the half of it. In Canada, in Ontario, not only with the nurses, and of course, the mainstream media calling them out in a negative way, even though they were singing, like you said, singing their praises. 6 months ago, they were like these saviors, and now they're like demonizing them, okay, because they're actually doing the right thing and standing up for people's rights and their own rights. Okay, if everyone
talk about the cops and the firemen as well that are coming out today. Go ahead.
Yeah, in Ontario, standing all in front of the Parliament building. Beautiful picture, by the way, beautiful. And so proud of those people. I'm so proud of humans right now.
Yeah.
But you're not hearing about it, but you need to know. This is not going ahead, and it's nothing like what the mainstream media. That's the last ditch efforts They're literally coughing and wheezing and dying. Their whole narrative's going down the toilet, basically. And they're just not admitting it yet. It's like they just won't admit it.
Right. And they're pushing out these propaganda pieces and all these polls saying, oh, the majority of Canadians agree. And I'm like, well, everywhere I look, there doesn't seem to be a lot of people agreeing. So go ahead.
Yeah, with that 3 of Swords, it's like, so using words and thought, trying to place it in your mind. It's just mind control to scare you into, compliance. Okay. When a government's that desperate for you to do something, you better really be looking at what that thing is. That's obviously not something you want to do.
Exactly. Okay. On this same kind of topic here, today, this was reported on Zero Hedge. The Israeli health minister was caught on a hot mic moment, admitting that the paperwork is just a means of coercion. It has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with protecting anyone. So here he is admitting why they're pushing this forward. Can we read some cards here? Did he know he was on a hot mic, or is he one of those ministers that maybe he's finding a way through making errors of really slipping out the truth because he's trying to get out the truth as best he can, maybe without being killed? Or was this maybe just a Freudian slip? Which of the two is this?
Oh, he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose he didn't have another way to get the word out. He couldn't think of another way to do it without losing his job or position or losing out on, something, right? He did it because he actually thought it was one little small way he could do the right thing. So I'm not saying he's a hero or anything, but he gave it a shot. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a good start.
Yeah. He was trying to do his bit to bring some balance to the situation. This was right under him, so he knew exactly what he was doing. That wasn't a hot mic.
Wow. That's fascinating. I wonder if sometimes I'd love to be a reporter and actually go and ask these people our questions. It would be absolutely funny if we had reporters who said, oh, Janine and JeanClaude tonight were saying something. What do you have to say, Minister? Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Oh, let's see this one. There's the first PayPal tip jar here. Let me bring this up. This is from Teresa Castro. I saw something funny. Is Alex Trebek an actor in the movie? Oh, interesting. So it's basically Alex Trebek using a mask to pretend to be other people. We'll just say it that way for now. Let's read into that.
Well, who is that?
Alex Trebek is Jeopardy.
Sorry.
The guy from Jeopardy.
Oh, I see. Is he an actor in the movie? Okay.
Yeah. Fascinating. Let me bring up an image here.
Okay.
Now, he died a couple of months ago. I believe it was cancer. And so now people are asking, well, did he actually die? Or, did they move him along to play some other part here that we don't know about? Yeah. So he died in November 2020. So let me bring up his picture.
There's a big yes to the question.
Wow.
Yes. He's playing a very dysfunctional person who's bumbling. A bumbling, dysfunctional. Well, that could be a lot of those politicians.
Did you see the 9/11 memorial thing with the pictures that looks exactly like a pull-off mask? Like
so bad.
Wow. It's like in your face. It's so evident.
Yeah.
Wow. And I saw a decode from it too. Like these were official pictures. It wasn't like, regular Joe Blows. I'm like, wow, it's in your face.
Yeah.
So Alex Trebek, who knew? Who asked that question? Let me go back. I want to thank you. Teresa. Hey, that's a good question. Teresa from the PayPal tip jar. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Okay. Next item. Let me go back to my Twitter feed here. Okay. Cliff is saying here, yeah, he's not crazy. He just played Mad Max. So of course, we're talking about Mel Gibson here coming out. He's been vocal against the church before, but just now, again, coming out saying that there's a deep sickness affecting the church. He went as far as to say in his video, that it was like another church had supplanted the church. So he's talking about a deep state or an undercover operation, basically replacing what we think is the church. Why is Mel Gibson coming out now? Is he front running perhaps some of this webbot data that suggests that we might be on the cusp here of finding out this huge industry that relates to young people?
You know, he's just had enough. So around him, he's had enough. He's been silenced and demonized by the press, by Hollywood. I mean, I used to love him. I was crazy about that movie, Mad Max. I literally ate up the Mad Max movies. Like, I must have watched all of them, especially the first two, about 3 times. I was crazy in love with Mad Max, the whole character of him. Anyway, I know it's embarrassing, right? But
no, me too. I was too.
I still really like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, he's actually really angry and sad, angry, and just he's had enough. He's had enough, and he just and it also feels like he thinks he can do this now because enough have gone to the spa that he doesn't feel like his life's in danger anymore, but it was in the past.
Right.
And so he's seen the end of this movie and he's ready to just reveal. He's like, done. I'm done. I can say whatever I want. I kind of feel the same way, to be honest. Yeah. Other than the algorithm stuff on YouTube, I'm kind of just going for it, frankly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just, and he's going to be more spouting. He's just going to out with it.
And imagine the resurgence of these people's careers who have been left in the dark for maybe 10, 15 years here because of their views in Hollywood. What are their futures going to look like? Let's talk about Mel Gibson. Is he going to be compensated for all of these losses over the last decades of maybe not towing the party line, so to speak, in Hollywood? Let me rephrase that. Is he going to be recompensated in the way that we see it, or is he just going to be recompensated? Is that the right word in English? Compensated from universe in terms of his soul, or both.
It's spiritual.
Okay.
More and could come, but also he'll be revered, like seen as a really good guy. So he comes through a gateway and he's rebirthed, sort of. Into like he's the new maybe king of Hollywood. I mean, because Hollywood's pretty much a dead industry at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
From my perspective, and when everything comes out about what these the heads of Hollywood have been up to, scumbags. Oh my God, sorry.
Exactly. Alison Goodwin says yes. Mel, aka William Wallace, of course, Braveheart, who was fighting for freedom. So that was a big part of his career for sure.
He spent a lot of years in anguish and sorrow, and that can't be repaid with money. That could only be repaid with seeing the world, knowing the truth, which is exactly what it looks like. That he's this guy is a warrior.
Yeah,
100%.
I believe that.
Yeah.
He was, like, on top of that too, he was talking about stem cell research when it wasn't popular to do so. Like, he's like on many topics. Mel's been very vocal, and perhaps I wonder if all those stories about him beating up his wife or his girlfriend at the time was true, or whether or not these were just attacks from mainstream media to kind of demonize the guy so that nobody would listen to him. Do we even want to pull cards on that at this moment, or should we just move on?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I get it was mostly not true. There might have been a few things they could have pointed to, but he's got some skeletons, but nothing like take it down, take it way down.
Okay, very good. Let's move into Chris, our buddy from Arcadia Economics. He's the author of The Big Short. I believe I have his book somewhere, so The Big Silver Short. Let me bring this up for you guys here too. If you haven't read this book, go please and order this from Arcadia Economics. It's The Big Silver Short by Chris Marcus. He's asking here, again, he's following up on this letter that Janet Yellen wrote to Congress last week, saying that we were getting to that debt ceiling again, and it was going to be horrific for the United States and their confidence if they didn't settle that before the end date here. That was submitted last week, and we saw a few articles of this on Zero Hedge. But what Arcadia Economics is asking Cliff High here is whether or not his data would suggest that we would officially run out of money, that is the deep state here, at the end of October. And Cliff is responding to that based on his estimate and what he sees the data, he's suggesting that he's going to stick with his estimate of October 15th as the day where the deep state runs out of money to pay military, to pay the propaganda arm, et cetera, which starts a snowball effect of devolution, if you will, and a bunch of cracks will appear in the system because nobody will be paid to continue to support this narrative. So are we on target for October 15? Let's ask the cards for that.
Yeah, that'll be the 11th hour for sure. They're done by then. Yeah. And I'm even thinking between the 10th and the 15th. I mean, not to, that's
not to split hairs. Yeah.
Hairs, exactly. But it's like, yeah, right, he's right on target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. He was telling a few of us there a couple of days ago, and I think in his video, actually yesterday, let me bring that up for the audience as well. If you guys haven't seen this video, Woo and Consequences, please do go check that out. At the end of the video, he says, listen, I'm not allowed to give you guys financial advice. Of course, he kind of got in trouble for decoding some of the crypto a couple of years ago with his reports. The SEC didn't really like him at the time because he was being too effective in making people millionaires. So he's very careful on his language now. But at the end of this video, again, he says, listen, I'm not giving financial advice to anybody, but the dollar's dead. And so what we just did here last week, the death of the petrodollar series, including all of these other events happening around the world right now, if you're still holding this toilet paper in your hands, you might want to think about divesting from it very quickly. And again, from my perspective, not financial advice also. And if you are interested in getting rid of that paper and maybe getting real money in your hands, please do go check out here Miles Franklin at our affiliate program here at beyondmystic.net/silver. This is the discount code offered to the Beyond Mystic audience. I'll bring that link right back down. So Janine, you're saying October 15th. In Cliff's report, he was also saying that silver would probably hit that $600 mark, which was forecasted at a long time in his WebBot data, by the time corn was harvested. Can we pull some cards on that as well to see if that timing is also on par?
Okay.
A bunch of people in the chat and in the emails today too are asking, JC, give us more detail. We want detail. Before the cards are played here, I want to tell you guys, don't wait for the cards. Every day is a good day to divest from this paper. Again, not financial advice, but really time is short is what the message was from Cliff in that video from yesterday as well.
So how exactly did you ask it again?
If silver would hit the $600 mark when corn is harvested in the United States. And now, presumably in different areas around the United States, they're not harvested at the same time. So we're talking about the fall time frame here, potentially as early as November, late October. This is the time frame he's alluding to, at least.
Well, I am getting October. I got my October card.
Makes sense.
So October, and from the 4th on, I'd be watching because I asked for a specific date. This is October, and that's the 4th. So I'd say from that date on, or on that date, absolutely potential to really see it shoot up.
Wow. And Andy told me the other day offline too that he's seeing 7-figure orders on a daily basis now, whereas before he would get a few of those a year. Now he's getting a few of those a day. That's how much volume people are freaking out to get physical in their possession right now. So if that says anything to you, the audience, make your decisions as best you see fit for yourselves and your family. Okay, so let's go back here and scroll down. Our next topic for tonight is this XRP story that was put out, at least recaptured by Crypto Viewing, our folks there, Decode and company, the remote viewers. Here, this is a news article stating that XRP was going to be listed by a Japanese exchange here starting on September 22nd. Now, so for all of you watching the show who follow us on the Beyond Crypto Woo monthly reports with Janine here, we've been getting every single time we ask about this card that it would eventually get out of troubled waters and that it would be absolute a fortune for those holding it. Now, last week, just so you know, there were reports that XRP was going to be relisted on Coinbase. And like very quickly on the same day or the next day, Coinbase came out and says, no, that's just a rumor. So now we're having these Japanese exchange admitting to it. So I think the writing's on the wall here. We're about to see that. So let's ask the cards, are we almost there here for XRP to get out of troubled waters and to be relisted on exchanges? Which of course, presumably means that their troubles with the SEC is over and perhaps the moonshot we've all been expecting is just around the corner.
Yep. Yes.
Those are big cards. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, the trouble they were in. So they're looking at the backside of that. This was the trouble. And this is the next thing that happens, which is a victory. So the victory dance and the yes came in the background already. So that already happened. They already got out of the doghouse or whatever. And it'll soon be known. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so all you XRP holders, there you go. And of course, if you don't have XRP, you can still get it through swaps. You don't necessarily need to buy it on an exchange. Again, not financial advice, but do your own research. And if you need help on this, maybe check out JSnip4 on Patreon, our buddy who's on the show often to talk about crypto. He's got a bunch of videos on how to do this. So go check him out at patreon.com/JSnip4. Okay, next item, again, on the financial stuff here. Today, this was absolutely incredible. This was Walmart putting out a press release to say that they were now going to accept Litecoin throughout their company. And so what happened was the price went up. Everybody went absolutely ballistic. Of course, we always thought that Litecoin was the right coin for a means of exchange. That's the famous song by Big Swear. But we were wondering when that would hit because Litecoin is like silver to gold, if you wish. It's more like it's faster than Bitcoin. And so a lot of people thought that Litecoin would be that coin that would be used for these types of smaller purchases. Now, what happened? Litecoin came out in the afternoon and says, no, that's absolutely a rumor. Yet it was pulled out by Walmart and it was captured on Reuters. This is not, Joe Blow in their basement putting out these press releases. So something happened today to spook or maybe to retract this announcement as if they weren't ready yet and somebody maybe jumped the gun on this press release. So that's what I want to know. Was it in fact that an error? Somebody pushed out this press release too fast and they weren't ready for it yet? Or is this maybe a hack for some of the maybe hackers who are trying to manipulate the price of Litecoin to maybe do a pump and dump? What's really going on behind this story?
It looks like it was an accident, or somebody did it with unauthorized somehow. At 4 days early is what I'm getting. So they had this intention to put that out, but not quite yet for some reason.
Okay, so that's still very good news for Litecoin holders, meaning that it is the right coin. It is going to be the ball. What was that thing? The bell of the ball, I think, was Cliff High's reports.
It's going to really surprise you. Is what I know.
Wow. Are we on timing then to see Litecoin be the bell of a ball by spring, which was what was described in, I believe, the 2017 or 18 Bare Naked Wealth reports? Is that what we're looking at in terms of time frame for Litecoin, or are we going to see now maybe an acceleration through September and October also?
I'm getting more February, March.
So bell of the ball again. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, you pulled that same thing the last time I asked you that question on the Beyond Crypto rules. Again, a lot of consistency there, guys, on the crypto stuff. This was the article from earlier today, and then it was retracted. But at any rate, wild times we're living in when they're retracting articles like this a few minutes after putting them out. Okay, talking about the financial system here as well. Janine and I in our show yesterday, we explained that both from Cliff High's data, but from us pulling the cards, we see that there's going to be some disruptions here in our payment processing systems, both for us as business owners, but for you also buying products. And we might see also disruptions in the banking system. Very quickly, Janine, can you recap what those disruptions will look like and how long they will last?
I'm thinking rolling sort of blackouts, but not 10 days straight like some people are saying, or even longer. No, more like 3 days at the most. Worse at the beginning, and then it's like they get it handled, and there could be like, this place has no internet connection, or you can't get it into your bank account or whatever, and then 3 days later you can, and then, or you could go a different state and you could, or a different province. Like, it's going to be intermittent and rolling, and not just all across the world, which would be, I think, devastating. There's going to be ways to move things around and get around it, and it's not going to be nearly as bad as even Cliff Highs was seeing a drearier, where you're going to lose your money, basically. I don't necessarily see that.
Actually, he didn't tell me that. He said that he doesn't think that we're going to lose money. He says it's going to be delayed, that these processing or banking institution might withhold it for a month or 2 months and then eventually kick it out. But there's going to be these weird dislocations where nothing is functioning. And he also talked about maybe revaluation. So we talked about this last night, where we were saying to people, hey, if you're holding money in the bank now and you know that it might be frozen up for a period of time for whatever reason in these dislocated markets, maybe it's a time to take it out of harm's way now and have it at least in your physical possession, or at least convert that into something else where there's no third-party risks like gold, silver, or maybe crypto. Okay, so at the same time here, during all of this turmoil, Janine and I decided to do more of the shows here on our live streams and also more pay-per-views. So we put out this coupon code called Stay Connected here in the advent, where perhaps some of these payment processors are not working and you can't purchase your pay-per-views. We suggested maybe if you can, and I know it's not for everyone now, but please consider supporting us using the Insider Access Pass. Here we're giving you 10% and you get the full year paid in advance. So whether or not these payment systems work or not, you'll have access to our videos as we post them. So thank you, everyone. And I see a few people already from today. So thank you so much, everyone who's embarked on this Insider Access Pass for us here today. And of course, proceeds from this are also going to Janine, just as we did with the Janine housewarming campaign last month. So thank you, everyone, for that. Okay, next news story for tonight. Go ahead.
While we were talking about money, I think the biggest, longest hold up people can expect is a month, the longest. I get less held up.
Okay, a month. Okay.
Which, would be a real pain in the butt, but ways that you can figure it out. Like, that's why having a little extra food around, making sure you're got some good connections where you can like share. This person has this thing you don't have, and you have, you know what I mean? We're just going to have to, that's pretty good, a month, I think. Yeah.
And also maybe for me personally, I would like to have maybe one mortgage payment or maybe two ahead of me, just in case, because the bank won't care. If your mortgage is due, and they won't care that PayPal froze your money for some reason, right? So maybe have some money on the side to make sure that you don't get in trouble with some of your finances suppliers, or whatever you want to call them, service holders. So that's a good strategy. Thank you for that, Janine. Okay, next story here is this one here. You and I talked about this last week, this Evergrande bond debacle here in China. Of course, when this first happened, they said, oh, it's contained, don't worry. And I was like, oh, that's the exact same language as in 2008. And of course, it wasn't contained. We got this huge financial crisis in 2008. So is this the beginning of the end here that perhaps leads us into October, where there's huge issues in the banking system, because these guys here are connected to a lot of major institutions and banks through credit default swaps. And when they finally go, a lot of them are attached on that same rope. What say you?
Okay. The good news is this is the way a lot of people are going to experience things that they were owing disappear. Yeah, it's to humans' advantage that these guys are absolutely going the way of. So they're going to walk away from something because they can't maintain it, is the feeling I get. Does that make any sense to how you asked that?
Yes, absolutely, because they are also one of the biggest real estate holders. So if they go down, perhaps to do the obligations to the people in that real estate. That's what you're pointing to.
Yeah, and it feels like it's absolutely good news for regular folks. And they're at their bitter end, like they're beyond done their time. They're karmically going kaput.
Wow. Okay. Wow. But at the same time, this could be what's causing the dislocations and the freeze up in your bank account. So on one hand, yes, you might save on the long run, but you might still go through these weird dislocations here. And this is what we're trying to warn you about, just to be ready for. It appears we're right on that doorstep now. And this is why we were coming out with this video on Sunday night there to help you guys out. Okay. This is interesting here. 27 of the states are declaring their opposition to was it a 5-point plan or a 6-point plan? That's all I'm going to say here, not to trip any language algorithms here. So 27 states so far are saying this far no further, we're not implementing the plan.
Yeah.
Do you think that this number will increase here very shortly? Are they going to be forced by any legislative measures maybe to comply? Do you think they'll be able to stand on their own here, these 27 states? And what does that do for the whole narrative?
Okay, I'm just going to say, and I've been getting this consistent and it's coming up again, none of that will hold. It's based in nothing real. It's a bunch of hot air coming out of a fake person's mouth who's in a fake position. He's not real. Nothing's about him is real. All you got to do is look at those pictures of his mask up close. All of it's secretly going to be undone. It's not legal. Nothing that they're doing is legal. It's not real, you guys. So don't let it gut punch you or fear you. It's all false. False, false, false. You are safe from that thing. That's what's really going on. And all of this is about to come out. None of this will hold. So don't be fearful of it. But at the same time, hold the line. And I don't mean just, oh, okay, great, we'll just ignore what he just said. No, talk about it and say no to it. Yeah. But it's not real. So just so you know.
Very good. And on that note, what Janine is saying here, it's already starting to show up. This was England yesterday, dropping this whole, without reading it there, you guys can see it. So this is just going to start happening faster and faster here as the rubber meets the road, as the nurses are on strike, all of these things here. We're seeing these hospitals in New York now saying they can't deliver babies because they don't have enough nurses. How long do you think that's going to, that crazy insanity is going to last? It's not going to last very long. But at any rate, let's talk about people who are being forced out of their jobs here, like the nurses. You and I have espoused this before, and Cliff was saying this too, that, you know, don't walk out, make them fire you. Hold on to the very last, and also start your documentation. If you're in a hostile work environment, start the paperwork already and submit your claims. This perhaps can help you here on the long run to position you even better here, just in case things maybe last a little bit longer than we would hope. Of course, that still is a possibility, but eventually this thing is all falling apart. It's just a matter of how long you can last before it does. So take the necessary actions for yourself. Anything else, or would you word that differently, Janine, for the audience?
I would agree with everything you just said, and absolutely just stand firm in your belief and trust in the universe that you are a sovereign being, and they can't do that, even though right now it looks like they can. Okay, they're literally in their last ditch efforts to desperately push something, and it's not working, and it's all going to fall apart. So hold the line and just stick it out. Don't give in right now. It's not the time to give in. Like when we did Patton, remember we had that message from General Patton?
Yep.
He said it's like we're digging and we're almost to the breakthrough point, but we don't see it. So we stop digging, but we're literally 2 shovelfuls away from breaking through. So this is not a time to give up.
Yeah. So let me bring that down. That's a good point, Janine. That was Janine's Uncensored episode 19. So let me bring that link down to the chat for you guys. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. Yeah, it's absolutely relevant to the conversation here today. Okay, my next news item. Actually, no, let's go to the PayPal tip jar. Deborah Harper. Okay, back on the financial system. Deborah is asking, and thank you, Deborah, for the tip. Will the banks be doing bail-ins? Now, here in Canada, of course, we introduced the bail-in legislation under Harper. So this has been in place maybe 2 years after the bail-ins in Greece. So many legislations, including most of the EU, if not all of the EU, have put in place bail-in legislations in their jurisdiction. So as we're seeing this debacles of the bonds here in China and these banks go under for a lack of liquidity here in these credit default swaps, are they going to bail in some people here?
You mean bail out?
Bail in. So basically, if you have money in the bank has the right now. It's okay. So let me backtrack. The bail-in legislation, as it reads here in Canada, at the very least, basically stipulates now that when you deposit your money in the bank, it's no longer your money. You're now an unsecured creditor. That's how they changed the language on you. So when you deposit in the bank, you're an unsecured creditor. So if the bank goes into difficulty, they can withhold that money as theirs, and you are in a pecking order to get it, but you're an unsecured. So all the secured lenders go first on that money. So the bail-in would be to hold in your money, which is no longer your money when it's in the bank, to try to save off or to protect themselves. That is how the legislation is written in most countries. So are they in fact going to bail in your bank account to try to save themselves here as they die on the vine?
Okay, I get they would, only there's something going on in the background that's going to prevent it. So something's been created in the background to prevent them from being able to do that. And but it's going to create the holdup for maybe up to a month. So while they're duking it out, whether they can bail in or not or whatever, there's some positive people working on the behalf of humans. So white hats, shadow government, something working on the behalf of humans that's already put in place because they were expecting that.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're going. Yeah, like I know people say don't expect to be saved. Okay, yes, that's true. But every time I look at it, it does look like there's people working diligently for maybe like many years in the background. So this doesn't go as bad as it was planned. That's for sure. In fact, it goes much better.
Okay. Next question. So that was from Deborah. Did I get that right? Yeah, that was from Deborah. Okay, the next one is from Jacqueline. Let me bring that up on the screen. Jacqueline Basner. Thank you, JC and Janine. Your shows help me keep hope and stay positive. Oh, thank you. If you can ask the cards, will my mom receive the healing she needs from spirit to overcome her deep depression and loss? Thank you, Jacqueline.
Oh, it looks like a yes. So she's just at the very end of where the grief is so hard, because this card's like so deep in the grief, but there's an ace around it. So ace is yes to her question. Yes, she will. She's so loved and being sent spirit energy So, and maybe even people around her who love her are sending her all kinds of what I call ravens. So love and healing energy. So much of it's coming her way in a spiritual sense. Okay. And she's quietly absorbing it, although it might not appear like she is yet. Okay. And then all of a sudden she has a breakthrough and she sees joy again. So I'm going to say yes. And I'm thinking by March, she'll really be on the other side of that.
Okay. Very good. Let me just go back to the banking thing. West Coast girl is asking, what about the deposit insurance, 100,000 per account in Canada? So she's referring to, she's referring to the CDIC, the Canadian Deposit Insurance Company, which is the equivalent to the CDIC in the States. Now, back in 2008, both the CDIC and the Canadian Deposit Insurance Company here in Canada, they were all basically overtaken by the losses of the banks. So they basically only, I believe it was, they had 10 cents on the dollar to cover all of these losses. So they were absolutely not in the position to insure anything. And that is the case here today as well. So counting on the insurances to bail you out or to bail out the banks here didn't happen in 2008. And this credit default swap that is going to happen now is tenfold, if not 100-fold magnitude what it was in 2008. At least that's what all the analysts are predicting right now, just looking at all the money printed and the leverage that has been placed in the system to kick the can down the road. So West Coast girl, maybe not hope too much on that one. Julie Smullen, is Conor McGregor, so this is from the live chat, Julie Smullen, is Conor McGregor part of the, let's say, the bad guys here? Please ask Janine. I ask all the time. Okay, Conor McGregor is an MMA fighter. I'll bring up his poster here for you, Janine. Is he part of the bad guys?
Conor. So what is he famous for again?
He's an MMA fighter, mixed martial arts.
Okay. He kind of had some brush-ins with it. So he got really close and it was touch and go there, where he might have been at a location or a party, I call it, where things were going on, and he could have brushed shoulders with it, like kind of in a way. But then he was shocked into picking a side, and he picked the good side. So he's safely on the side of integrity and looking at, and got himself to a safe place somehow. And he's slowly but surely changing and letting go of a lot of people that he now knows what they're up to. So he had some brushes with things that were so shocking to him that he backed off and got himself to a safe position.
Okay. Yeah, Mike is saying Conor is promoting the you know what. So
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like so those two things could be different in a way.
Yeah, he could be supporting it out of ignorance, not necessarily because he's part of the agenda.
Yeah, because I have really good friends who absolutely support it, and they're absolutely not in the dark, you know what?
Right, exactly.
Or just literally believe the BS. They just literally are buying it. So that could be stupidity, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Another question here from the live chat, Gypsy Soul. Please ask if George Colin is still alive.
Ooh, I love that guy. Me
too. Wait, do I have a clip from him? Hold on a second.
You know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
There you go. Did you hear that? Did it work?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you heard it.
Cool. Oh, that's too funny. So is he still alive? Could you imagine?
Man, he was red-pilled from the day he was first on stage, I think.
Oh, yeah.
This is looking, there's no left the earth plane cards in the reading. So that would be a yes, he is.
Wow.
He's with a group of people that all agreed to exit. So that group Negative 48 talks about. I forgot what he calls them. They're the something or other group. But anyway, they make an agreement, and they're sort of helped. So they give them a way out. They give them sort of the formula to get off the earth plane safely, to look like they left. Right. So they have all these formulas they use. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, he's around. Absolutely.
Wow.
Oh yeah. He's closely connected to, or gives info for, the White Hats and or Mr. T. The White Hat. Yeah.
Wow.
He's like in the background with these guys. He's on their side.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. There's a great. Wow. Okay. I just kind of lost my train of thought there. Let me find my other question here. Okay. This one from Cathy. Let me see if I can zoom that in the middle of the screen for you guys. Hold on here. From Cathy Rhodes, again from the PayPal tip jar. My son is in the U.S. Navy and finally fell to all of the pressure and took the thing. I'm so worried. Will he be okay? A lot of parents in that exact same position of worrying right now.
Yes, he will. So don't forget that there's booby-trapped batches, and then there's batches that are completely not bad for you. And I believe Mr. T went around to some of those big companies and made some deals. And I believe in the background, they undid some of that damage, a lot of it actually. That's always what I get. So he's safe.
Okay. I want to take this one. We kind of touched it, but it's so important to everybody right now. And in case they missed the first part of the show, this person's asking, okay, I'm a federal worker and plan to not get the thing. If fired, will people with my stance get vindicated? So it's a little twist on that question of standing strong now.
To not get, and if we're fired, will people with my stance?
So the question is, will people with my stance get vindicated? Much love, Jill Campbell. Thank you, Jill. I was going to say, not only will you get vindicated, you'll probably get a higher pay because you're more qualified than those who are damaged. At least that is the language that's coming up in some of the predictive linguistics. Whether or not that comes to pass, he's predicting language, not necessarily the events. So it appears that we're going to see those languages, and there's already a website out for unvaxxed workers. I believe it's unvaxxedworkers.com. So there's already an inkling to show that perhaps people in this stance will have a preferential treatment moving on in the future here.
That's exactly what I get. So it actually works to the favor of her to allow them to terminate her. And she needs to absolutely keep all the paperwork and, make sure she's got a paper trail that says exactly why and what happened. She needs to get it in writing if she can, that's the reason, because that's going to be unlawful termination in the future. Trust me, these guys are going to all face justice, all these big companies that are doing this, that are foolish enough to buy into this.
That's what I keep getting since the beginning. Okay, very good. Susan, I love this question. Yay, my first time in an interactive live. Good for you. Welcome to the show. She says, will I get to work with Mr. T? I wonder where Susan works now and how that could come about. So let's pull some cards. Will she get Susan Giles? Will she get to work with Mr. T?
Okay, this is really interesting. She might have a past life connection to Mr. T. That's wild. And they might have worked together before. So in the future, if she keeps wanting that, she could draw it to her. Yeah. She needs to know not to assume she won't and stay in, because she sometimes falls into negative thinking and or feeling like like she never gets what she wants or whatever. So not to fall into that, and stay visualizing that if I'm meant to, I absolutely will. So just assume that if it's meant to be, it'll be, and don't sit around assuming, oh, what am I, why would I even think that? Who am I? Why would, do you know what I mean? We can talk ourselves right out of it. Then the universe hears, oh, you don't want to now? Okay. We won't put that energy out there. Stay focused on, you don't have to obsess about it. Just leave it in the potential. And if it's meant to be department, I call it, and stay open to it over here. And carry on with your life.
You answered almost the exact same question to Jenny Moonstone when she asked that question. It was almost the same card spread. So I wonder if these two people are connected, Jenny Moonstone and this person. That would be funny. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Madara Uzaiti. Let me see if I can pronounce that right. I'm sorry. Madara, her question is, hello, love you both. Does a person who I recognize from my past life is my soulmate or a twin flame? Do we have a mission / work together in this lifetime? Okay, so she's picking up on somebody that she recognizes from a past life, and she's wondering if it's a twin flame, soulmate, and whether or not they have a mission. And if yes, there's a mission, what would that mission entail? Let's ask the cards.
That's 3 questions.
Let's
yeah. So
that's a lot. Okay, so let's assume that it's a yes, that she's recognizing this person. So let's ask if they have a mission or work together and what that entails. Let's try to shorten that one down a little bit. And folks, try to make the questions short and precise. It's easier for us to go through as many as we can here on the show. Thank you, Madara. Let's see what the cards say.
So the second part of that was, do they have a mission?
Yeah.
And will they work together? And so they're absolutely connected in a family way. So soul connection and soul family, as opposed to lover from the past or like twin flame. I've done videos on what twin flames are. It's really different. Is my belief is twin flames are on the other side while you're in the living world. And so twin flames don't walk around on the earth plane with you. They're the other half of you on the other side. So, and then soulmates are people you've mated with literally, and or who could become your mate. But soul connections and family connections. And that's what it's saying. So she's been connected to that person before in a family way or in a community way, which does lead towards maybe working together. It'll be in a really unique way though, and likely in a different country than her origin country. If that makes any sense. And this lifetime, they might even find attraction, but they don't come from mated energy like they were mates already. So they could be, again, this lifetime, that'll be up to them, but there's going to be some chemistry there. So there's opportunity to change up the relationship.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Very good. There's a few questions both on the live chat here and also in the PayPal tip jar regarding the recall in California. And I posted this earlier today. Of course, it's California Republicans are shocked to discover that they already voted in the recall election. Imagine that. No shenanigans happening there. Yeah. So what's going on? Will this facade continue tomorrow and then eventually be corrected? Or are we going to see a correction tomorrow? I guess that's how I would phrase it for the audience.
Well, that's obviously a shenanigan.
Mm-hmm.
And just like some lame effort on the part of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because this 5s only temporarily stick around. So they're just trying their best to duke it out and get any kind of leverage. I'm telling you, the desperation is almost pathetic at this point. Everywhere I look, the patheticness it's almost laughable.
Yeah, it's absolutely in your face. But let me rephrase that. Yes, it's a shenanigan here. They're messing around with the votes. Dead people are voting also. There's all this stuff. But tomorrow, are we going to see this guy being recalled, or is it going to take a while for us to have that news?
It's looking good here.
Okay.
It's looking like it's imminently the breakthrough comes.
Wow.
And those people are given their true options here. Because that card's your sovereignty card and the world. So things come around full circle to what should have been.
Wow. Man, that's going to be a jaw dropper for a lot of people. But that also speaks maybe to the weak hand that these guys are playing. All they have is rhetoric, but perhaps that what we're seeing in the background here, and why you and I did the show yesterday, is this dislocation of the banking system. Maybe they're out of money, and when they're out of money, they can't pay people, their minions, to do their jobs, and that's when the problems start happening for them. Wow.
You bet. We got that was already happening like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And they're just running on the pathetic minions that are actually doing it because they think it's the right thing to do. So that's what kind of patheticness they got going right now at this point. Right.
Wow. Man. Okay. Janine, we're 55 minutes in. Holy shit, it goes fast, eh? Let me see if I can pick one more question from the PayPal tip jar. Thank you. I love you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Those are questions. Thank you so much. Okay, same question. Let me see. Okay, Jay Crypto Minded. Will I be purchasing a home in the next 2 years? Okay. And I believe, yes, Jay Crypto Minded is a member of our Insider Access Pass. So thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate your support, man. He's been around since almost the beginning. So thank you for that. So let me bring that up on the screen so you guys can see that. Oh, that's a big yes. Wow. Okay.
Yes, that was look at that. He'll love it.
Wow.
Victory. Yes. So look at that.
Wow.
That's brilliant. Couldn't have been a more yes going on with those two.
That makes sense with our other readings, that people who have gold, silver, and crypto have a huge upside in their fortunes here, moving down the timeline. So that would make sense for Jay as well. He's been in crypto for some time here. So good on you, Jay. Okay, Janine, in the last couple of minutes, is there anything that you also wanted to add? I had taken the notes. Oh, you did you want to talk about Alberta again, or we kind of talked about that at the beginning of all this rhetoric? Yeah. Or is there any more that you want? Go ahead.
They're making noise about the universities and colleges having to get, in January, and it was really freaking everybody out. And people were calling me, and, friends, people that are connected, but also aware and awake, which, not so many of them, but those people were calling me. And I feel like people need to remember, and you're going to hear things like this in the next few days. It's going to be just gut punch after gut punch. It's all not going to work, you guys. The amount of lawsuits coming down for these people, the amount of stuff coming out daily, moment to moment. And it's all just being it's like the press is like just sitting on it, not talking about it, and just doing their rhetoric. Okay, but they're about to blow up with that rhetoric, because it can't keep the truth for too much longer. It's absurdly, they're just underestimating how smart humans are.
Yeah. Wow, fascinating. Okay, let me bring your last video up on the screen here for the audience who may not have seen this today. Let me bring the link down in the chat now, and I want to thank everyone tonight for participating. There's 6,500 people in the live chat now. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us here on our first inaugural Monday broadcast, the first of many here as we move into these crazier times, and we're doing 2 shows a week here. So thank you so much, everyone, with the PayPal tip jar tonight. You guys absolutely make it possible for us to be out here. It is an energy exchange between Janine and I and you guys, the audience. So we absolutely appreciate every single one of you. It makes all the difference in the world. And Janine, very quickly, on your side of things, how are things shaping up with your housewarming party? How close are we to the dates and the announcement for the audience here who participated in that last campaign?
How about we set the date for the first, should we do it on a Monday night?
Sure.
Should we do it on a Sunday night? Like what's best for you? Because I was going to do it the first week in October, because I got just a few, I got to hang a few lights that I just don't, I just can't even show my place with these lights that are still here. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So that would bring us, if we did it the Sunday, would be October 3rd. Or, yeah, why don't we do it a special show? Because if we do it Monday, we'll miss the Monday show. So
let's do it Sunday in the sort of early afternoon. I don't know what that time would be for you, but sort of have a champagne brunch
right.
wine party.
Okay, so folks, October 3rd is going to be the housewarming party. Within a day or two, Janine and I will put up a video with the exact hour and time and how we're going to do this. Okay, that makes sense. So October 3rd is
and get your even if it's pretend champagne and orange. Because that's what I'll be drinking.
Right. Oh my God, October 3rd. Imagine if the rhetoric falls between here and there. I'll actually be able to go visit you in person for the. What does that be?
So good.
What does that be fun?
Jean-Claude should buy the house next door because it had the for sale sign. But I just found out.
Yeah.
I live in a duplex, right? But I just found out it just sold. So yeah, too bad.
Damn it. Okay. Oh, that'll be fun. Okay, so October 3rd, guys, look back on our channel here within a day or two. Janine and I will put up a poster and all of the details for that event and the times. And of course, if you want to support us again here, please do consider becoming an Insider Access Pass member. The link is on the screen for the 10% discount code, and that is Stay Connected, all in high caps. And of course, those proceeds are also being shared with Janine to support her in her endeavors and for her to be out here as much as she is for all of this free work for humanity. So thank you so much, Janine, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. This was our Monday first broadcast here of the Tarot Reading by Janine. You can find her at Tarot by Janine here on YouTube and also at Sending Ravens. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe here on my third backup channel. Tomorrow night, Sherry Divban is back on the show for a quantum healing session. So you guys don't want to miss that. That will be at 6 o'clock Eastern time. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic. Merci beaucoup, Janine. And we'll see you on Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Au revoir.
Au revoir.